Live from the KATC TV3 studios, this is Acadiana's news channel at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for choosing Acadiana's news channel at 6 o'clock. In Acadiana, at least two towns notorious as speed traps could get that official title by the state.
Lawmakers are debating legislation that would designate an area a speed trap if more than half of the town's revenue comes from fines, including speeding tickets. So what Acadiana towns would be affected? Well, our investigative team crunched the numbers and found that Fenton and Jeff Davis Parish and Washington and St. Landry Parish each could fall into this category. Last year, Fenton took in 89% of its revenue from fines. In Washington, that number was 70%. As our Alison Bourne-Vanneck reports, some residents hope the legislation will put the brakes on those speed traps.
Good black dirt. It grows fabulous potatoes.
76-year-old Dorothy Worthy loves gardening and loves the town of Washington.
This is getting better.
But there are some things about Washington that bothers her.
Who wants to come to an area when you know you're going to get a fine for $300, even when you maybe not even be speeding? That's a speed trap, when they entrap you.
Worthy lives just around the corner from I-49 and says she sees cars getting pulled over all the time. One minute they're getting onto the highway and then pulled over by police.
I'm hoping and praying that the legislature will vote to change this.
Last year, Washington brought in about $1.3 million in fines from violations, including speeding tickets. That money stays in Washington because of the town's home rule charter. But if the bill is passed and the town doesn't put up signs warning about the speed trap, that money will instead go to the state treasury.
Now all I hear when I'm away from the little town is, oh, Washington has a speed trap. We try our best not to go anywhere near Washington anymore.
In St. Landry Parish, I'm Alison Bourne-Vanneck, KATC TV3.
And our team looked at other towns that you've asked us to look into for being speed traps. Henderson gets 49% of its revenue from fines, but that's after the police chief and also assistant chief were arrested last year for an alleged ticket quota scheme along I-10. And before that investigation, they were averaging around 70% of their revenue coming from fines. Port Barre also barely misses the proposed cutoff. They get about 37% of its revenue from fines. Grand Coteau and Turkey Creek come in at 30%. Finally, likely a surprise to many of you who wrote in, less than 20% of revenue in both Maurice and Krotz Springs comes from fines, and Patterson just 10%.
Well, happening right now, a cell phone service outage dealing with Verizon